Hi moms, welcome to MUMspiration Webisodes. So good to be with you and to be sharing with you what we believe is just a little bit of relief, warmth, joy and connection in this most unusual and uncertain time of isolation and social distancing. Believe me, we're all facing challenges right now in all areas of our lives, be it financial, emotional, fear of the future, health issues of our own and of our family members. If you haven't attended one of the MUMspiration live get-togethers before, you're in for a treat. All now packed into a 20-odd minute video so that you can enjoy at home and be inspired by the wonderful speakers we have sharing their life hacks and bringing some calm into your space over this period. While you're watching, you could be one of the many winners. We're giving away 42 500 Rand cash prizes, which will be drawn and sent to you over the lockdown period once it's over. So good luck. I wanted to share with you a little song, a cover version of a song called The Story by Brandy Carlisle. It's just in relation to my appreciation I have for my family and particularly my husband over this time. I hope you enjoy and good luck. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I've got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything when you've got no one to tell them to. It's true, I was made for you. I climbed across the mountain tops, swam all across the ocean blue. I crossed the lines and broke all the rules. Baby, I broke them all for you. Because even when I was flat broke, you made me feel like $1,000,000 you do. I was made for you. Good luck.
Hello moms, welcome to this first episode of the MUMspiration virtual series. My name is Maria Padime. I'm a business and leadership coach, medical doctor, and most importantly, I'm a mom myself. So in this first episode, I'd like us to just get real with each other for a little while. And what's real for me is that I feel scared. You know, these are very scary times that we're living through, and it feels as if there are more questions than answers about how all of this is going to unfold. So naturally, fear is coming up for me, and I imagine it's probably coming up for you too. Now, fear isn't a fun emotion, right? It's uncomfortable, and often when we feel fearful, we want to do something to make that yucky feeling go away. But today I'd like to invite you to approach fear a little bit differently. So instead of trying to overcome this discomfort, I invite you to rather embrace the fear that you're feeling. Now, this might sound like a slightly crazy idea, but I assure you there is method in my madness. Because you see, when we lean into fear, when we allow ourselves to feel that discomfort, what we're actually doing is that we are teaching our bodies, we are teaching our nervous system that this isn't something to run away from, right? And what we are doing is we're training ourselves to be with the discomfort associated with fear. And by doing that, we're actually increasing our resilience and we're building our capacity to cope. So how do we do this? How do you embrace fear? So firstly, acknowledge it, right? Acknowledge that you're feeling fear. Name it. I feel fearful. I feel anxious. I feel overwhelmed. Whatever it is that's going on for you, call it out for what it is. And then secondly, allow yourself to feel it in your body. Feel where that discomfort lands and sits in your body. And in time, what you'll find is that, yes, of course, fear will continue to come up. But when it does come up, you can be with it because you know.
If your child is not growing well, she may not be eating well and can become sickly. That's why Pediasure has 26 key nutrients to help support height, weight, and immunity. Start to see visible growth in 8 weeks. Pediasure, for growth you can be sure of.
Hi moms, and welcome to episode 1. What a crazy time to be alive, made all the more crazier if you have little people locked down with you. Now that I really don't have any excuse for not being at home enough or having enough time to do the important, not urgent things in life, I was so looking forward to finally becoming Martha Stewart in the kitchen and Mary Poppins in the playroom. My kids were finally going to get into regular chores. We were going to be like that Von Trapp family in The Sound of Music, staging regular sing-alongs, doing fun educational craft activities, baking together. Well, in reality, our home has been hit by some very bad, nasty viruses. Not the coronavirus, fortunately, but still the net effect has been one very tired mom, some really miserable kids, a sick spouse, and my healthy kids have basically been left to run around semi-naked and feral, fighting over various screens, picking silly fights with each other, whilst eating loads of cereal for dinner. Reality really bites right about now. And I'm guessing I'm not the only mom who feels like they're not really winning at this lockdown life. So I suppose what I really wanted to let you know is that if that's you, you're not alone. I'm with you there. Right about now, amidst all the unknowns, it's really okay to not be okay. To not do all the things you thought you were going to do or be who you thought you were going to be. It's okay to swing from feelings of something minor that happens at home. It's okay. And it's going to be okay. Like I've written about before for MUMspiration, and what I want to just repeat again here in spoken word. If you want the world to be a kinder place, and if you want your families to be kinder places, it starts with you being kinder to yourself. And in line with that, with cutting ourselves as moms some slack, here are 3 things I've realized I really need to ban from my life at the moment in order to be kind to myself. The first is too much of this, my smartphone. Yes, technology is amazing and staying connected with loved ones and work is important, but there really is such a thing as too much of a good thing. Too much news is bad news. And I don't know about you, but I spent the first few days of this lockdown really obsessed with reading everything I could on the news, and it wasn't good for my mental health or for our family. So I've started to really limit my intake of news, and I'm better for it, and my family is too. The second thing to ban, if you can, is this baby. Now, I'm not saying you really need to chuck out rulers from your family, but as women and moms, we really do tend to measure ourselves, especially on social media, and it's a really dangerous and dumb thing to do at a time like this, to measure the worst of you against the best of the Pinterest and the Instagram moms out there. Let's chuck away
our measuring tools. And the final thing I'm banning from our household during lockdown is this. It's a recorder, my daughter's recorder. The panpipes of Satan himself. If your kid plays one of these anywhere nearly as bad as my kid does, please can I urge you to be kind to yourself and hide the flippin' thing, at least until the end of lockdown, when you can run away as far as you can when they're practicing. That's it from me, beautiful moms. We may all be isolating in our different homes right now, but we really are in this together.
Hello, Dr. Daycare. The new range of Dr. Daycare syrup has been specifically formulated for kids as a tasty, tooth-friendly syrup. Feeling better has never tasted so good.
Hello mums and welcome to episode 1. These are certainly very interesting and very trying times that we live in, particularly from a financial perspective. We hear a lot of doom and gloom worldwide about markets crashing, our investments not being worth what they are, and of course there's a direct impact on many of us in terms of our employment. Just speaking about investments though, the South African Reserve Bank dropped interest rates by 1%, so that might have affected you as well. If you had money invested, suddenly you're earning less interest. But because of all this uncertainty and all the lockdowns and everything happening, many of us have had our income affected. So it's quite interesting when we talk about money and planning our household budget and our finances, we always look at two aspects really. One is money coming in and the other is money going out. So money coming in is where it all starts, and if there's a shortfall or if not as much is coming in as what used to come in, then something needs to change. But the interesting thing is that this situation has brought us all back to basics, where we need to focus on food, shelter, and to be safe, to be protected from this illness. And that's the very basics when it comes to life and when it comes to our money. So that's where our priority needs to shift to. Some of us are fortunate in that we worked from home all the time, so we're not that influenced by the lockdown. Other people might find themselves on short pay, so maybe only being paid for 2 or 3 days a week. Yet many other people may find themselves without any kind of income simply because the employer has closed up shop, and so no work, no pay. In some cases, people have been told to go on the leave, take your annual leave paid, and in some other instances, it's simply a case of we're not paying you. So what do you do in that situation? So for me, it's quite simple. You need to prioritize. You need to come back to basics and make sure that your basic needs are taken care of. The roof over your head, the food, and the safety and security of your family. So we spend money on lots of things, and if you scrutinize where your money goes to, you'll see that there are a lot of things that you spend money on that are not the basics of life. So you need to go and have a look and see which expenses must be paid and which you can perhaps leave or cancel. So debit orders, a lot of payments are made via debit order. Maybe you want to go and scrutinize those debit orders and see which debit orders you can actually cut out. And that you can pay later, because quite frankly there's no point paying for gym membership if you haven't got money to buy groceries. If you had an emergency fund, this would be a great time to tap into that emergency fund, but of course a lot of people don't have emergency funds because they always say life is expensive, so I don't still have money to put away for times like this, for emergencies, but this is when one really, really needs it. So I really want to say, shift your thinking and focus on the basics. Change your priorities if you have to, and make sure that you have enough money, that your basics are taken care of, your family is taken care of, and that you stay safe. Thank you very much. Till next time.
Digestive problems are so common that many of us take them for granted. These women have found a solution.
I used to suffer from really bad stomach cramps, bloating. I've been suffering with constipation. I had to stay away from certain foods.
Looked like I was 3 months pregnant.
Malkasan tackled all my issues at the same time and very quickly.
My life changed. I became regular.
My stomach is much flatter. Once my problems were gone, my confidence just went up.
There you have it. For better digestive health, try Molkazan.
Hi mummies, so welcome to sanitization of the mind sessions with Nuku Muswede. This is episode 1. Before we start with everything, I wanted to start everything the same way I start everything. I want us to start this thing with a word of prayer. But before we pray, I want to make you aware of something. Last night as I was praying, I prayed that this corona must go away. I found myself praying that, whoever has corona, this virus must get out of their system and go out and go maybe to the pigs. But as I was praying, contemplating on going deeper into reasons why the corona must leave human beings and go to the pigs, oh my goodness, I found myself visualizing the last time I had a full portion of ribs in a restaurant. Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine any flavored Russian except for pork. Any flavor of Russian except for, I don't speak English as a home language. Ladies, as I'm trying to explain to you that, I cannot imagine buying a spadlo or a bunny chow that has a polony of anything else except pork. But have you noticed how nice and juicy everything that is made of pork is? Huh? And then as I was praying, I started thinking that maybe this corona must get out of these bodies and go to the cows. But cows, it cannot be cows. Because as I was thinking about cows and their importance in our lives, I saw a plate, a plate of, pap and a long, thick, juicy, succulent, dripping. I saw that piece of boerewors and I was like, this one will go down very well with chakalaka. There is no way. There is just no way. This corona must not go to the cows. Never. It can also not go to the chickens as well, because you know what, ne? I remembered the time I was from a comedy show. It was in the middle of the night and I was hungry. I needed a snack. What is the midnight ride without those hot spicy wings, Bazalwane? No ways. Chicken is also very important. It cannot have corona. I don't know. But also the devil whispered in my ear. He wanted to deceive me and say, I must pray that this corona enters stingy men. But I say, no ways. No man is stingy for a woman he loves.
Feeling stressed, depressed, or just need better rest? Improve your mood with Emozac, a herbal supplement containing Iranian saffron that delivers results in just 15 days.
Hi moms, welcome to episode 1 of MUMspiration during lockdown. My name is Sam Smuts and I'm a yogi coach. Today I'm going to help give you a tool to manage the anxiety that's rising in all of our bodies right now. There are so many difficult emotions coming up for all of us and we are really stressed. And not only having to manage our own emotions with all this uncertainty and fear around us, but we're having to manage that of our children. So for today, I'm going to give you a breath tool that will really help to balance your system and ease the anxiety and stress inside of your body. You can either do this alone, sitting somewhere quiet in the house if you need a break, or you can invite your children and your partner to join you so that you can use this time to connect to them and help them ease the anxiety inside of their bodies as well. So find a comfortable place in the house, either sitting on a mat, a carpet, or a towel, and find a seat just like this, crossing your legs. If you find this uncomfortable, you can place a cushion underneath you so that you get a lovely tall spine. Then when you're all sitting calm, you can gently close your eyes and start to focus on your breath. Take 5 long, deep, full inhalations and exhalations through your nose. With each breath, feel yourself drop further and further into your body, gently creating space between your thoughts and images in the mind, feeling yourself float away from that, coming into yourself and connecting in. And then we can begin alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. This is the breath that will help calm your mind, ease your anxiety and stress, and bring balance into the system. It even lowers your heart rate. So you take your right hand and your right thumb, close off your right nostril, then breathe in fully through your left nostril. Then close off your left nostril, breathe out fully through your right. Then breathe in back through the right fully. Close off your right nostril and breathe out through the left. Then in through the left. Close off and breathe out through the right. 3 to 5 times to bring balance and calm within inside of your system. And then afterwards you can gently draw your hands in towards your heart center, acknowledging your practice, acknowledging the space of calm and tranquility you've brought to your system, the space inside of you where you can find peace. Namaste.
For a wide range of pure organic CBD products, choose Rethink CBD. Choose your dosage of scientifically formulated pure CBD isolate in daily oils, capsules, teas and shots for less stress, sleepless nights and discomfort. Rethink CBD is endorsed by the Cannabis Research Institute of South Africa. Choose Rethink CBD.
Hello mums, I'm Sharona D, and I want to speak a little bit about joy. But joy is going to be different to each and every one of us. Joy can be finding the perfectly ripe avocado pear. Joy for me is when I wake up in the morning and my husband brings me a lovely filter coffee. And it's a combo deal. It's the coffee and my husband that just brings me complete joy. Joy can be when your child has maybe made the cuts and got into the varsity that they've been dreaming about. So because joy looks so different to each and every one of us, my focus for the next 7 sessions is not going to be joy itself, but that which steals joy. I want to discuss a few joy thieves with you, especially during this trying time. And if we can practice and identify these joy thieves, it's going to really be a huge investment for when you can leave home. So let's talk about validation. Validation is joy thief number 1. From a very, very young age, I think we're kind of set up for validation. When you get your sum right, you get a star. And there's a lot happening in our homes right now where we are constantly seeking validation because we're going beyond, over and above what we usually do to make our families happy and content. I want to talk to you about my boys, and they will come to me on the hottest day. I live in KwaZulu-Natal where we can reach a 45-degree temperature, and it will be on that day that they'll say, "Mum, can we please have a malva pudding?" Not a jelly and custard, a malva pudding. And I'll go and bake this malva pudding, and at the end of the evening I'll sit and I'll wait for that, that "Wow, Mom, this is like a rock solid, awesome malva pudding. Thank you for slogging in front of the heat." But it doesn't come because they're used to getting a malva pudding. So just because I sweat more and I went over and above what I usually would want to do when I'm dying of heat, my validation, I expected the big wow. Currently, if you are going over and above what you usually do at home, protect your hearts. They're not going to constantly say, "Wow, you're looking gorgeous. I can see you've done your makeup here during lockdown. Thank you, Mum, for all the extra snacks." Remember, when we are surrounded by secure people who are confident within themselves, they're not going to constantly give you the validation that you are seeking. So guard your heart, be on the lookout. Make sure that when you do something, your intention is not to receive a big wow. So all the best. I'm going to see you soon for our next Joy Thief.
Be safe, stay indoors, wash those hands, and remember that joy comes from within.
Did you know there are many benefits to feeding your cat Pamper Wet Cat food? With higher protein from fresh meat and lower carbs than dry food, together with balanced minerals and extra moisture, Pamper Wet makes it easier to maintain an ideal weight and helps to support urinary health. Plus, it's available in a variety of delicious tastes and textures that even the pickiest eaters will love. Choose Pamper, South Africa's leading wet cat food brand. Brand power, helping you buy better.